Hello everyone and welcome to another tying session here from Nordic Anglers. My name is Daniel and today we're gonna tie a fly that basically I've just, thought about in my head for a long time, and then, it all came together like this. This is a tube fly intended for salmon and sea trout. I see a lot of applications for this in a lot of the local waters where I fish. Recently, a lot of people have been fishing with these flash wing flies. I've not used those as much as I would like, so I thought I'd give my own take, do my own take on one of these flash flies. And what was more, what was better than take some of the colors that I know works the best of all, the colors of the Partakova and also the Thunder and Lightning, and combine them with this new flash wing technique in order to make a fly that looks very, very like it's gonna be a really, really deadly fly. So we have taken all of the most awesome stuff we know, adding a lot of different things to this one to give it a lot of life. And that is why we've come up with this one. This is called Thunder and Flash. So it's borrowed some of the name from Thunder and Lightning, but it's so far from the original Thunder and Lightning that I think we're okay to actually rename this. I mean, this has not that much to do with a classic Thunder and Lightning, which it is not. It is an adaptation of the color scheme with some new and exciting techniques. And this fly is one of the flies that I've tied for a long time that I have the strongest belief in. This will work great for steelhead, it will work great for salmon, it will work really great for sea trout here in Denmark. So here it is. Now we're gonna tie Thunder and Flash. Det der. So here goes. We're gonna use an 1.8mm tube. That is the tube I use the most because basically then you can use both Future Fly and Pro Sportsfisher dimses and ding nuts on it. I know that's not an English word. That's a very, very Danish way of saying something very strange. I just wanted to say that. So bear with me. Bear with me. Maybe we can use that in another afsnit. Oh, no, you won't understand that reference either. just disregard everything I said. And I'm not even drunk, so yeah. Okay, so here goes. Now I have prepared the tube, and then we're gonna add a bead, because we want this fly to fish as soon as it hits the water. So I'm gonna add a 5.2mm flexi bead from Pro Sportsfisher as well. And then we're gonna apply the tying thread. Basically, this fly is intended for anything salmon, and I'm sure this is gonna work well in Norway and Sweden as well. But it's also designed for the Danish rivers. Since this has the color scheme of a Thunder and Lightning or even a Partakova as well, we're gonna start off with an orange feather. Basically to just have a base for the first wing and for the flash and the marble fox to rest on. So I'm gonna take some bright orange soft hackle, tie this on here, and then turn this hackle, folding everything back as I go. I can't wait to fish this fly actually. This, at the moment for this video, this is a fly that hasn't fished yet, but it just looks so right. So I can't wait to fish this. This is definitely one of the flies that is going directly into the box, and I can't wait to fish. If I had this on the opening day, Stefan, I would have used this on the opening day, and then I would have caught 11 salmon instead of 0. I'm sure of it. Maybe not 11, maybe only 9. That's how much I believe in this one. Okay, with that, we're off to a great start, and then we're gonna take some marble fox, just to have a short wing that is gonna be basically just the base for the primary wing, which is gonna be composed of almost exclusively flesh, or not almost, but exclusively flesh. No, that's not the right one. Just find some hair here that has the right tapering. This wing is not going to be very big, so I'm going to take a few of the cover hairs, but then I'm going to remove a lot of this woolly part here from the actual wing here. And as I said, this is basically just a really small amount of hair to basically just have something for the flesh to rest on. There we go. So it's going to be really short. Something along these lines. Yeah, that's perfect. And then I'm going to trim off the rest of the hair. Here it's important to have a great pair of scissors, so you can trim this as much as possible, because that makes it just so much more easy to actually make your fly look like you want them to. So you can see a really short, small wing there. And then, because I've tied one of these before for the Danish video, then I have a prepared bundle of flesh. What basically you want to do is you want to take a relatively large bundle of flesh, and then you want to pull on the individual strands, so that as you can see, they are very uneven in length here. And that is by design, because otherwise you will have a really, I mean, if I just tied this down, you can see how horrible that would look on the fly. So basically, when you have the cut off piece, you pull them out, and on this bundle of flesh here, one of these sides here will be perfect for one fly, and this over here will be perfectly suited for two flies. This is some crinkle mirror flesh. It's some of the fleshiest flesh out there. Some of the fleshiest flesh. Yeah, it's the bling fleshy flesh. Yeah. Okay, let's not dig deeper into that rant. Basically, I want this a bit longer than the first wing. So I want this to be around, depending on what size. I mean, you can build this as big as you want, but for my fishing, maybe 5 or 6 centimeters or something, approximately like that is gonna be perfect. Then I'm gonna apply some tying thread to this, and it needs to be quite a lot of tying thread, and you need to pull down with force on this one. What do you say, Stephen? Is that perfect? I think that looks rather good. Okay. And then I'm gonna cut off all the excess flesh here in the front. And because flesh is such a very how do you say that? It's slippery. Yeah, it's very slippery. Then, in order to make sure that your fly is gonna stand up to the abuse of 9 salmon in a day, as we agreed on, I would catch on this when I start fishing this, I'm gonna apply some sabak up to this here. Don't get too much sabak up in the wing. That kind of defeats the purpose. There we go. And now I'm gonna take one of the spay feathers. This is a black spay hen cape. If you have a rooster, then that is very good as well. Those are not available, or at least very difficult to come by. I have a few at the moment in the store of the natural black spay hen capes. So that's what we're gonna use for this one. The spay hen capes and the spay feathers in particular just adds a lot of movement to the fly, and that's why I like them so much, and that's why we add one of these to this. Tie this on top of the... Oh, I forgot something. We need the legs. Yeah, we need the legs now. We're gonna add some round rubber legs, some barred round rubber legs in blue. Again, to give this movement and make it look very good in the water. I'm gonna add some blue round rubber legs, 1 pair on each side. There we go. I basically just add them to the tying thread and then pull them in place. They're going to be on the sides of the fly here. There we go. And learning from the other flies we tied today, then I'm going to just secure them pointing forward just in front of where the flesh actually was as well. That's going to give me a bit more room to maneuver, and it's gonna pay off later on. Then I take my spay feather. These are too long anyway. They're in the way, so I'm going to cut them a bit down. And tie this just where I tied down the flesh. There we go. And for the spay feather I need my hackle plier. I'm going to turn the spay feather in between the legs. This just looks awesome. Gives a really, really nice effect to the fly, this. Whoops. Gonna tie down the feather here. Fasten it and secure it. Gonna cut away the feather tip, but also the hackle stem. I should probably have cut away the hackle stem before, but forgot. We can rectify that now. There we go. Because of the sabbac up, you're going to have a slightly strange tying down point from here on, but it's going to be okay as long as you move the tying thread and tie on top of just in front of the bundle of tying thread from securing the flesh, then you're going to be okay. Then I'm going to take a really small amount of marble fox again. This is basically just to cover things up and make the fly look more complete. So this has to be a very slight amount of a very narrow, very thin wing here, and you should not take out any of the coarser cover hairs, because we're going to have those melt into the flesh, and that is going to make the fly just come together really nicely. So as you can see, this is a very small, very slight, very thin wing. Just gonna tie this down just in front of where the flesh was attached. There we go. Cut away those hairs. Again, the crucial thing here is to have a good pair of scissors. There we go. Then we need the final hackle, and for this we're gonna use the same as on the original Thunder and Lightning. We're gonna use some Kingfisher blue Guinea fowl. I like Guinea fowl very much. It looks so awesome on any type of salmon flies, and as front hackles for most things here. Tying this down in between the legs again. Cut away the tip here. Take your hackle plier. and then turn your guinea fowl. We're just gonna leave the legs to point forward because basically we're gonna use a disc to actually fold them back in a second. So just turn your guinea fowl here. Gonna apply some tying thread. To this, so everything is fastened securely. There we go. I'm gonna cut away hackle stem. Looks absolutely amazing. As the finishing touch, we're going to use two pieces of the Pro jungle cock because those are the best. There's a lot of different artificial jungle cock out there, but the Pro Sportsfisher one is by far the best one, at least I have ever tried, and I've tried a lot of these. And the Pro Sportsfisher is just in a league and in a class of its own. So I'm going to take one of these and add as cheeks, one for each side here. This is the XX small. That was for one side, and then here is for the other side. As I said, a lot of people have tried to make something along these lines. Many of the different companies have artificial jungle cock, but Pro is just the best. There we go. Then I'm gonna add some, simply make my whip finish in between the legs here again. Cut away the tying thread. And if some of these fibers they're pointing in the wrong direction now, then that's not really of that much consequence, because we are basically going to use one of these discs here to point everything backwards, like so. And we're going to do that and make sure it stays in place by adding some sabagap. So basically fold everything back, apply some sabagap. When you do this, you need to take care where you point the legs, because they will be affected by the sabagap. My fingers got a bit stuck there. And then really apply some pressure to force the disc, which will help move water. It will also give a really nice finishing touch to the fly, but also it will help you cover up if you have any big head or something. So it's just win-win-win with one of the heads. Then we're going to cut the legs so that the front one is shorter. Don't cut it too much, but it should be shorter. The front one should be shorter than the oh, this one is actually quite decent length. Yeah, that's maybe just a slight something along those lines. And well, basically there you have it, the Thunder and Flash, we're gonna call this one. So there you have them. They're done, and I've actually made quite a lot of these because I really like them, and I want to have a few with me for the next couple of trips for salmon. I can guarantee you this is going to be the first one I have on my leader next time I go salmon fishing. I have a strong faith, a strong belief in this one. It has some really, really nice components. It has the rubber legs, it has the spay feathers, it has the flash wing. It moves some water with the disc, and it's heavy, so it gets down and deep really, really fast. And then it has the color scheme of two of the, well, perhaps most well-known flies of all time, the Thunder and Lightning and the Partagova. So we've dubbed this. Did I say that already? But oh, I'm gonna mention it again. Thunder and Flash, and I can't wait to see this swim. You can buy the complete material kit for this one and for all other of the fly tying videos that we have on this channel at Nordic Anglers, where you can also get every single thing you could ever possibly need of fly fishing related products. So thank you for watching. Good luck out on the water, and swing by the shop if you haven't done so. And if you have done so, there are some pretty awesome deals to be had, so swing by anyway. Good luck on the water, and thank you for watching.